who have come. Come with me to John chapter 12. Our focus shall be verses 1 and 2, and then verses 9 through 11. The Gospel of Jesus as is recorded by John, chapter number 12, verses 1 and 2, and then 9 through 11. Then Jesus, 6 days before the Passover, came to Bethany, where Lazarus, which had been dead, whom he raised from the dead. Much people of the Jews therefore knew that he was there. They came not for Jesus' sake only, but that they might see Lazarus also, whom he raised from the dead. But the chief priests consulted that they might put Lazarus also to death, because that by the reason of many of the Jews went away and believed on Jesus. The flower of faith, the grass is going to wither, but my Lord's word shall not return unto him void. I want to take this text for just a few minutes and talk about I never should have made it. I never should have made it. Might we pray? O eternal God, our Father, again we come to offer praise to your holy name, recognizing your sovereignty and your love for us. We come and say we love you too. Father God, I pray now for cleansing in my heart, forgiveness of my sins, the right words to say, and power from above. Speak to and through me now, that which you'd have your people to hear. And Jesus, I just want to thank you for what you're about to do through the preaching of this word. It is in your marvelous, your magnificent and matchless name we do now pray. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Amen. Amen. I never should have made it. The word was out and spreading like wildfire. He was alive. The he being Lazarus. The miracle of miracles had now been manifested by Jesus a few days ago in a very small, obscure village called Bethany. Many they were who was not in the graveyard on the other day, but now they have come to see. They have come to see not only the miracle worker, but the miracle person in the person of Brother Lazarus. This wasn't the first miracle that Jesus performed. According to John's record in John 2, verse 1 through 11, he turns water into wine. And this miracle symbolizes nothing less than the mission of the Master, the Messiah, changing man's way of empty religion into a living and joyful relationship with him. John says, secondly, he lists the healing of the nobleman's son. John 4:43 and 54. This man came to Jesus and said, Lord, I want you to come to my house and heal my son. And Jesus told him if he could believe, his son was already healed. Bible readers know on the way back home, he met a servant. Servant said, I have good news. The boy is well. He asked him, when was he healed? He said, this time yesterday. He knew he was talking to Jesus at the same time. I have our witness here. And this was an act of God's grace, pure and simple. And then John lists the next miracle at the pool of Bethesda, chapter 5, verses 1 through 9. There was a man who was lying at the pool, complaining about not being able to get in. And Jesus told the man, you can get well without getting wet. You can be delivered without taking a dip. Take up your bed and walk. This man needed someone to heal him. We need someone to save us. Both needs are met in Jesus. If you're sick, he'll heal your body. If you're lost, he'll save your soul. Thank God for Jesus being able to meet our every need. Have I got a witness here? And then John lists in chapter 6, verses 1 through 5, a hungry crowd out in the desert. Little boy's lunch in the hands of the master turns into a banquet hall. Fed 5,000 men, not counting women and children. And they had fragments left over. This tells us if we seek him first, he can meet our every need and bless us in the process. I thought I had a witness here. Then John says in chapter number 11, chapter 6 rather, again, verse 16 and 25, the Lord come walking. Oh, yes, he did, in the middle of the night, on the wind-whipped waves, and calmed the raging sea. That tells me that no matter what kind of struggle you're in, when Jesus is there, the struggle is over. I thought I said something. I said, I don't care what kind of struggle you're in. If Jesus is in the midst, the struggle is already over. The Bible said when he showed up, got in the boat, the storm calmed down. Oh, in chapter 9, we see a man born from his mother's womb blind. Oh, the Sadducees, scribes, and all the elders didn't believe that a man could be healed if he was born blind. Jesus spit on the ground. Talk to him if you can. Anointed the blind man's eyes. Said to him, go to the pool and wash. The Bible says he went blind. He came back saying, well, I was blind. Oh, I thought I had a witness here. Now I can see. And that tells us that no matter what you claim to know about Jesus, you got to know Jesus if you plan on spending eternity with God. Because that blind man said, I don't know his name. I don't know if he's a sinner or not. All I know, where I was blind, now I can see. But Jesus found the blind man and introduced himself to him and said, not only am I a miracle worker, I want to be your master. Oh, y'all missed it because see, a lot of folks want to get the Lord's blessing, but you don't want to have a relationship with him. He don't only want to work a miracle in our lives. He wants to be master of our lives. And then the other day in chapter number 11, the miracle of all miracles, the last miracle recorded by John before the resurrection, shows the fulfillment of our Lord's promise that he can be all that we need. Y'all know the story. Help me if you can. 4 days late, according to Mary and Martha. 4 days late, according to the crowd. 4 days late, according to everybody but himself. Ought to have a witness that you've learned that you can't hurry God. No, you just got to. You got to wait. He may not come. Or don't make me say it by myself. He may not come when you want him. But I got some help. He's always on time. Showed up, went to the cemetery, told them to roll the stone back, called them by name. And was careful to do it that way, Ronnie, because it wasn't a great getting up morning. Had he said dead, all the dead would have got up. He said, Lazarus, come forth. The Bible said he came out the grave bound with the grave clothes on. And Jesus told him, loose him and let him go. Oh, what a powerful manifestation of God in the life of Lazarus, Mary, and Martha. Well, I heard him say to Martha, I am the resurrection and the life. And Jesus spoke, the dead heard, answered, and came forth alive again. But Jesus didn't just jump us into this calling of Lazarus from the grave. He didn't rush us into this resurrection. He stepped us into it. Have I got a witness? Y'all remember in Mark 5:41, we see him at Jairus' house. Daughter was sick at the point of death. They said to Jairus, don't trouble the master no longer. Your daughter's already dead. And Jesus turned to his anxious father and said, if you can only believe, all things are possible. Went on to the house, mourners screaming and hollering. The Bible said Jesus put them all out. He takes Peter, James, and John, the mother and the father, in the room with him. He looks at the little girl and said, little girl, I say unto you, arise. And the little girl woke up. Somebody said, well, she had just been on the bed for a few hours. It could have been that she was in a coma and came out the coma. Jesus said, okay, I'll show you I am the resurrection. In Luke chapter 7, verse 14, he was headed into the city of Nain. And the funeral procession was headed outside the city to the cemetery. Luke says it was a widow woman. That meant she didn't have no husband. Her husband was already dead. And now she's carrying her only son to the graveyard. And I need to tell somebody, Jesus cares. He cares about what you're going through. No matter how heavy the load, how heavy the load, yes, he cares. He saw that woman crying, said to her, weep not. In other words, dry your tears. I'm going to settle this for you. Said to the pallbearers, stand still. Told the bone, the shoulder of the pallbearers, wake up and go home with your mama. He turned a funeral procession into a family reunion. Anybody in the room know he'll turn it around? I say, anybody in the room know God is able to turn it around? I don't care how dark it is. I don't care how bad it looks, how low you fallen. He got the power to turn it around. Yeah. Somebody say, well, he got him before he got to the grave. He may have been in a coma. And then Jesus said, I'll show you. I am the resurrection. So now he's late on purpose. Yeah, because the Jews believed that when a person died, their spirit hovered over the body for 3 days. And that there was a possibility for them to live again. But after the 4th day, they said there's no hope. They are gone forever. So Jesus makes sure he does not get to Bethany on the 1st day. If I had a little help, I'd preach it here for a minute. He makes sure he does not get to Bethany on the 1st day. Matter of fact, the text says when he got the note, he whom thou lovest is sick. He stayed where he was. Kept on preaching. Kept on teaching. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. He says to the disciples, let us go now. Let us go now and wake Lazarus up. Oh, y'all didn't hear what I said. In Martha's eyes, in Mary's eyes, in the community eyes, Lazarus was dead. Jesus said, let us go and wake Lazarus up. He gets there on the 4th day. There's no possibility of the spirit hovering over the body. There's no possibility by man's estimation of a resurrection. Walks over to the grave. Tears fall from his eyes because he loved Lazarus. And I tell you, he weeps over what we are going through because he loves us. Have I got one witness here that know, yes, Jesus loved me? This I know. For the Bible tells me Oh, yeah, it tells me so. Calls his friend from the grave, and that's where our text picks up at. A few days after the raising of Lazarus, Mary and Martha wanted to show their gratitude. And you know, when the Lord does something for you, when the Lord brings you out, when the Lord lifts you up, when the Lord makes a way for you, out of no way, you ought to want to show some gratitude. I say you ought to want to show some gratitude. Look, if God done anything for you, you ought not mind being a witness and telling somebody that everything good that happened to me, God did it. I don't care who know it. I just want the world to know that I'm sponsored by God. And so Martha does what she normally does, and she did it well. She fixed a meal. And that's what I want to look at for a minute, is that meal. Because my brothers and my sisters, I want to tell you that many of you in this room, can I say it like this, Joe? Matter of fact, everybody in the room never should have made it. No, I can come on, turn your little halo off and help the preacher if you can. Put up your little angel wings and come here and talk to me. None of us in this room, it ain't no y'all gospel fits, it's all have sinned and come short of the glory of God. It's by God's grace that we are here right now. Or somebody ought to just say, praise the Lord. In this place, we don't know how close we came last night to leaving here. The old folks say, we thank you for another day's journey. They said you made death behave. Oh, if God didn't make death behave, we might be, the guest of honor at the funeral home. But he made death behave. Have I got a witness in here that know you woke up this morning not because you were cute, nor because you were handsome, but you woke up because God shook you with a finger of love, opened your eyes to a day you never seen before, and you ought to just tell him, thank you. Oh, bless his holy name. The Bible said that there was a supper made. A supper was made, at the home of Martha. It was made in the honor of Jesus. There they made him a supper, and Martha served. I wish I had a witness. But this supper is not an ordinary supper. No. Jesus is the guest of honor. But there's a fella at the table who's almost about to upstage him. I wish I had somebody. See, let me tell you. The first thing I see in the text is I see Lazarus' presence at the dinner. He was dead. He's alive. See, can I just tell somebody in the room, the fact that you are simply here speaks volumes about that whatever it was, it didn't destroy you. You need to wake your neighbor up because they didn't get that. I said, just the fact that you are here, whatever it was, didn't destroy you. See, because challenges seek to crush us. Dilemmas seek to destroy us. Faults and failures seek to floor us. Friends forsake us. Family fail us. And our foes seek to frighten us. But if you look around, you can tell somebody, I'm still here. They said he was dead. Jesus said he was asleep. I wonder what have they said about you that wasn't true. I got somebody in the crowd, they say you'd never be nothing. And you got degree upon degree hanging on the wall. Do I have anybody in here? They said you'd never get off drugs. You beat drugs, and here you are sober in the sanctuary. I wonder what they said about you. They said something about all of us. Oh, yes, they have. If we listened to the word and they had been prophets or prophetess, they would have prophesied our doom. But John said Lazarus was at the table. Now, y'all gonna make me think that you think you ought to be here. We ain't got no right being here. None. Can I tell you? If God hadn't awakened us today, he'd be no less God. I said, if God hadn't awakened us today, he'd be no less. God does not need us, we need God. Have I got a witness? I said, we can't even walk without the Lord holding our hand. I know I got somebody in this room. See, folk don't want to testify. Nick, they don't want to testify on this type of sermon because to say you shouldn't be here would suggest you've done something to keep you from getting here. You did. Yeah, you between yonder and here. We all done enough. They said it like this in the old church, but they say if justice had a plumbed the line, wouldn't nobody be in the room. Wouldn't be no preacher. Wouldn't be no male chorus. Wouldn't be no congregation. No ushers. Nobody. No. No balcony. Nobody. So just the fact I walked in here was a testimony that God did it. Don't make me get happy by myself. I know you cute. I know you important. I know you somebody. But I need some witnesses in here that know that you didn't drive yourself over here. It was the Lord ordering your steps. Somebody had a wreck on their way to church today and died. Look at you. Somebody laid out clothes last night intending to come to church today. Look at you. By his grace. And you know, grace is unmerited, undeserved. It's just God being good to us in spite of us. And I like what Paul said about that thing, Ray. He said, where sin did abound, grace abounded the more. I thank God that he put grace around my sins. I say, I thank God he put grace around my sin. I don't know about y'all. Y'all act like y'all ain't have none. But I thank God he looked beyond my fault. I better go and close here and saw mine. The first thing I see is that Lazarus is present at the table. He's there. You're going to keep on being shot at. It's an uphill journey at best. You're going to keep on being burdened. You got to bear your burden in the heat of the day. No cross, no crown. Things are not going to just turn out peachy without you really being willing to keep on moving. And Lazarus is at the table. I thought I had somebody here. You ever had somebody in your life you hadn't seen in a while? And for whatever the circumstance, reason was, you got a chance to see them again, and just their presence blessed you. And you just kept on telling them, I'm just so glad to see you. The words can't express how I feel just to be in your presence. And you give them a great big hug. Lazarus was present. The roll was not called up yonder. It was called down here. And you were able to answer. Present. His presence at the table said something. But secondly, lest I keep us too long, Lazarus' position at the dinner said even more than his presence. Preach, man. For the text says he was with Jesus. See, he wasn't just alive. He wasn't barely making it. He wasn't limping alone. He was alive and thriving because he was at the table with Jesus. He didn't look like what he had been through. He had been through the grave. He had been on the other side, called back, but it didn't look like he had even seen a graveyard. He's at the table. He's present. And positionally, he's with Jesus. Y'all missing it. See, because a lot of y'all are present, but you ain't with Jesus. Paul said, I can do all things through Christ, which strengtheneth me. They said in the words of a song, walk with me, Lord. Walk with me, Lord. Hold my hand, Lord, while I'm on this tedious journey. I want Jesus. I said, I want Jesus. See, mama intend to walk with me, but I want Jesus. Daddy doesn't quit walking with me. I want Jesus. Brother and sister may be too busy to walk with me. Wife may not feel like walking with me. Children might be doing their own thing and won't walk with me. I want Jesus. Anybody in the house want Jesus to walk with you? Be my friend, Lord. Be my friend. When you are with Jesus, I said when you are with Jesus. In the words of the world and the vernacular of the young hip-hop crowd, who you with? And they answer that question all kind of way. I'm down with my boy. I'm with my crew. I'm hanging with my girls. But I just need telling you, I don't need my dogs. I don't need my boys, my girls, my crew. I just need Jesus to walk with me. See, can I tell you, there are some benefits of the Lord walking with you. See, when he's walking with you, he's holding things together so they won't fall apart. You don't know how patched up you really are. I wish I had some folk from the old country, old school. See, Jackie, we didn't just used to get new clothes. No, we had hand-me-downs. And the hand-me-downs had patches on them. The hand-me-downs had been sewn. They had been darned and they had been patched. And we were still walking like we had on new clothes. Anybody gonna talk to me? See, these children, they wear them one time, want something new. Look, the oldest was blessed. Anybody gonna help the preaching? I say the oldest was blessed. They got new stuff. The rest of them got stuff that you were through with. Mama didn't throw those shoes away because you outgrew them. She said, your brother will be able to wear these next year. Anybody in the room patched up? That if the Lord wasn't holding stuff together where it would fall apart, you just be a wreck right now. I know he's looking good and I read, but come on, tell the truth. If the Lord wasn't holding stuff together, I'd have just lost the little mind I had. Not only is he holding things together where they won't fall apart, but he's holding things up so they won't fall down. Is it all right to preach in here? That's what Big Mama meant when she said prop me up on every leaning. Oh, these young folks don't know what a prop is. Can I go old school for a minute? Before Maytag and Speed Queen, when we had to wash clothes and hang them on the clothes. Well, talk to me in here. On the clothesline, and when that line got full, it got heavy, and you had to put a stick in the middle and prop it up. Well, when you see me walking, I'm propped up. I say, I'm propped up. The Lord is propping me on every leaning side. That's what they said. They said, Lord, prop them up on every. Some of y'all don't even know you were leaning. The Lord prop you. He caught you before you fell. But not only, God Almighty, I didn't mean to preach like this. Not only is he holding things together so they won't fall apart and holding things up so they won't fall down, he's keeping us day by day. We are hedged in, upheld, and hidden in the hollow of God's hand. Lazarus was at the table with Jesus. And you really need to start hanging out with Jesus. If you hang with him, he'll heal you. If you hang with him, he'll help you. If you hang with him, he'll hold you. Somebody said it like this: what a fellowship. What a joy. Oh, divine leaning on the everlasting arm. And so Lazarus' presence spoke volume about what he'd been through. They shout every Sunday you come. They are blown out the water. Every time you walk through the door, they can't believe you're still coming. They can't believe you're getting closer to the pulpit. They can't believe that you're getting further in the church. They can't believe you're up doing stuff in the church. They can't believe you're serving this person you're called in to fulfill, because they keep on judging you by what you've been through. They keep on looking at what they know about you. They're not looking at who you know. I told y'all the other Sunday that God is some kind of God, because he knows all the stuff he knows about me, and he still chooses to fool with me. 5 people should have ran out of here right there. I said he knows all about me, and he still chooses to deal with me. Lazarus said, look here, I don't know how y'all feel about it, but I don't want to let that man out of my sight. I can't make it. I can't make it without the Lord on my side. So first thing I said was his presence at the table spoke volumes about where he had come from. Secondly, his position at the table. See, you don't want to just be at any table. That's the problem with a lot of us right now. We at the wrong table. See, you need to know who's at the table with you and what they bring to the table when they come. Most tables we sit at, we have to deal with takers. Can I slow down and say that Sesame Street style? Most of the tables that we are at, we have to deal with takers. They ain't bringing nothing. They looking for something. Every time you see them, they want to hold something. Every time you see them, they need something. They want you to spot them. I ain't no trainer. I ain't spotting you nothing. You don't pay back. Need a spot there and get amnesia. I'm still being saved. I'm from Brickville. Me and the bank made an agreement. If I didn't loan no money, they wouldn't save no souls. Got to watch all these takers who claim to be in your crew, cruising with you, but never contributing to the cause. Always your car. Always your car. They stuff in the garage. They boyfriend got there. Well, you know, they got mine. Always. leeching off you. Parasitic in their approach. Always want something. Boy, I must be preaching up in here now. They looking at these tables now. The light's coming on. They looking at these tables now. Every time y'all go out, they betting with your money. The house party always at your house because they don't want folks breaking their stuff. Lazarus was at the table with Jesus. My time is gone. I thank you for yours. But thirdly and finally, Lazarus is the proof you can make it with Jesus no matter what you're facing. Verse 9 says, much people of the Jews therefore knew that he was there, referring to Jesus. The word was out. He was back in town. And you know folk ought to get excited when you say Jesus in town. And they came hurriedly to see this miracle worker. But John said, and they came not for Jesus' sake only, but that it might see Lazarus also, whom he raised from the dead. See, folk want to see Jesus, but every now and then they want to see us, who are witnesses of what the Lord has done. If you stop going through life trying to plagiarize your way through it, taking credit for what the Lord has done. I mean, if you're up, it's the Lord who lifted you. I mean, if you're healed, it's the Lord who touched you. If you're sane in your right mind, it's the Lord who regulated it. If your emotional heart is healed right now, it's the Lord who has mended it. Have I got a witness here? Lazarus did not go to supper saying, man, I cheated death. He did not go to the supper saying, man, I am a bad fella. The Bible said that he was at the table. And that's all you got to keep on doing, Keith, is keep on showing up. Keep on being present. Because there are people outside looking in. The Bible said that they wanted to see Jesus. Yeah, Lord. But not only did they want to see Jesus, they wanted to see Lazarus also. And I leave you now. I wonder if anybody in the room who has been tested and have a testimony that somebody can't believe you're still alive. At all the pain that we've been through, we have to give God all the glory, because he's met our every need, and he's been there to hold our trembling hand. Oh Lord, the Bible said that they came that they might see Jesus, but they didn't come for Jesus' sake only. They came also that they might see Lazarus. I wonder today, my God, could they put your name in the text and say they came to see Jesus, but not only that they might see Jesus, but they might see Larry. Do y'all hear me? Because I know if it wasn't for the Lord on my side, I would have been gone a long time ago. I got news for y'all. If you sit at the table with Jesus, I want to warn you that there always are going to be haters who are watching you. I want to warn you that everybody is not happy because you're still here. Everybody is not happy because you're not longer down in the valley. Everybody is not happy because you and your wife done reconciled. Everybody is not happy because your child has finally come home. You got to understand that every time the Lord is good to you, somebody is standing in the hater line. But that's all right. Keep your haters close to you, because the Lord, you turn your haters into waiters. Have I got a witness? The Bible says, thou preparest a table for me in the presence of my enemies. Now you would have thought that everybody would have been happy that Lazarus was alive. But look with me if you don't mind. In verse number 10, the Bible says the chief priests consulted that they might put Lazarus to death. Do you hear me? When Jesus helped you, you'll find yourself on a holy hit list. Do you hear me? If they can't take the Lord out, they'll try to take you out. If they can't knock Jesus down, they'll try to knock you down. But I'm so glad. I said, I'm so glad that we fall down, but we get up. Anybody in the house know what I'm talking about? See, I'm like a weeble. I may wobble, but I stay up because the Lord, He walks with me and He holds my hand. Anybody in the house, though you never should have made it, if you are a witness that by the grace of God you're still here, come on and be a witness. Let me hear you say, "Ah!" Shout it, "Ah! Ernie, all right." I said, "Ernie, all right." They not only wanted to kill Jesus, but they wanted to kill the evidence. But I tell you, if you walk with Jesus, you'll come out all right. Abraham shouldn't have never made it off of Moriah with his son Isaac if he had done what the Lord told him to do. But because he was willing to trust God, the Lord put a ram in the bush. I need 3 people in the house that know He's a way maker, and you're not ashamed to be a witness. Won't He do it? I say, won't He make a way? Is there anybody over here today who know that that door was open? It was the Lord who opened that door. If the Lord ever opened a door for you and you ain't ashamed to testify, just lift those hands and tell the Lord, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. He's all right. I tell you, if you walk with Him, you can make it through. Noah made it through the flood because he walked with the Lord. Do I have a witness here? David made it out of the valley fighting the giant because it was the Lord on his side. Good afternoon, y'all. But is it all right to preach in here? I feel all right. I need to tell you that when the odds are against you and your own family done turn on you, keep on walking and keep on holding onto God's unchanging hand, because He will make a way out of no way. Won't He do it? Won't He do it? Yes, He will. Yes, he will. Joseph was in the pit. He went to prison, but he kept on walking. I need 5 people in the house that know he made it to the palace. Won't God do it? I say, won't he do it? Won't he do it? Anybody ever tried him? If you know he'll do it, take your neighbor by the hand and tell him he'll do it. Yeah! He will, he will. Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah. He will. I said, he will make a way. I'm done. But I believe somebody in the room know the Lord did it. And you ain't ashamed who know it. Well, come on and join us. Stand on your feet. If you know God did it, everything good that happened to me, God did it. Do you know he did it? You know he did it. Shout yeah. I said shout yeah. Or y'all ain't shout yeah. I said if you know he did it and you ain't ashamed, let me hear you say yeah. He did it for me. For me. He did it for me. What about you? I said, he did it for me. What about you? Anybody in the room know he did it for you? But if you ain't too holy to help me, just put your hand on your own chest and say, he did it for me. He did it for me. He did it for me. Yeah! Yeah, yeah. Can't nobody. I need to sit down before I get happy. I say, can't nobody do me like Jesus. Can't nobody hug me like Jesus. Can't nobody rock me like Jesus. Can't nobody do me like Jesus. Yeah, yeah. If you're broken, he can heal you. Can't nobody do me like Jesus. I had somebody who came to church, no, he picked me up, turn you around. Ain't he all right? Oh, Lord, I say, ain't he all right? Anybody in here got religion and not ashamed to testify? If you know he's all right, just wave your hand. All right, all right, all right. God bless you. Yeah. Lazarus was at the table. I say Lazarus was at the table. I say Lazarus was at the table. But they said to Jesus, you still could have worked some magic. You still could have pulled some tricks. Might have been a back door to the grave. We don't know how you did it. Jesus said, give me a cross and give me a heel, and I'll show you that I am the resurrection. Somebody in the room know they stretched him wide, they lifted him high, they dropped him low, put him in a borrowed tomb. He died. He died. Didn't he die? But that's not how the story is. 3 days later, oh, shucks up in here, he rose. Anybody know he rose with power in his hand? And because he lives, I'm able. Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah. I'm able to make it. It gets hard sometimes. Tears fill my eyes. It's an uphill journey. But I got my hand in the winding chain. Every round goes higher and higher. Ain't he all right? I say, ain't he all right? Ain't he all right? All right? Yeah, yeah. God bless you. God bless you. The text says that because of Lazarus, by reason of him, many of the Jews went away and believed on Jesus. I wonder if the world would look at your life, would they believe on Jesus? If the world would watch you eat, would they see you thanking the Lord before putting a fork in your mouth? If the world would watch you in a crisis, would they see you reaching for a bottle? Would they see you popping a pill? Or would they see you calling Jesus? I wonder today. The text said because of Lazarus, many went their way and believed on Jesus. Can't be ashamed of you yesterday. God already done handled that. I don't care where you've been, what you've done, who you were. Paul said all men become new in Christ Jesus. Behold, all things are passed away, and all things become. Anybody here new in Jesus? I know what we used to do. I know what they used to say about it, but we new in Jesus. Never should have made it. But I'm here. What about you? Anybody else here? Oh, bless your name, Lord. The door is open. There may be one today who needs to make a decision, never been baptized, and you want to give your heart to Jesus. You want to change your life forever. Wherever you are in the building, deacons are waiting, the church is praying. Will you come? Man, woman, boy, or girl, if you're here and need to be baptized. If you're already saved and have a church and the Lord is leading you here from a Church of Life Faith by letter, will you come? And if you're saved and you're being in and out, you want to get it right with God, but you know you're saved, you can come by your Christian experience.
When he walked,
the door is open. If you're here, will you come?
On the water.
Come on, Fitzgerald, and sing something. Is there one?
I wasn't there.
Yeah.
When he made the blind man see.
Come on, son. God bless you. You may be seated. Stay with me to the benediction if you can. We're all going in just a few minutes. You don't want to miss the blessing. Stay with me to the benediction, please.
When he preached.